5 times faster results. I'm loving the brown rice method. So it's been 48 hours since I broke up these bags of brown rice grain. I am extremely happy with the results of the brown rice compared to the rye grain. Alright, how to shroom here with another video. Today we're going to do a test with whole grain brown rice. Up until now I've only used rye grain. The recipe we're going to be doing today is taking this 2.2 kilogram bag and we're going to add it to a pot of boiling water and we're going to boil for about 10 minutes. Then we're just going to strain the water and let it sit for about an hour and a half, at which point I will be using these unicorn bags to fill up with the rice to inoculate with some cultures. If you don't have the unicorn bags, you can also use just any kind of mason jar and you fill that up with rice, and both capable of going in the pressure cooker. Alright, so our water is boiling. We're just going to add our rice. Alright, so you might have seen some other videos where people are using those 90-second or 2-minute microwavable packages of rice and they're inoculating those with their culture. I just used a 2.2 kilogram bag and it would take 17 of those microwavable packages to equal the same quantity in this bag. This bag cost me $10 and the packages cost about $4 each. So it'd be about $70 to get the same amount of rice I did for 10. So if you're looking for a low cost way to do it, you're better off just buying a bag of raw rice and boiling it yourself. Alright, so it's been 10 minutes. I'm just going to take a couple out and see how they are. I think I'm going to let it go for another 2 or 3 minutes. Alright, so that's done. So we want to run some cold water over it now and cool it down. Alright guys, so it's been 12 minutes. And I mean, this is still soaking wet. So I think I'm just going to let it sit in this bucket for a while. I think the rice is pretty good. It's been 1 hour. So we're going to dump this out. The fact that it still sticks to my hand a little bit means it might be a little bit still too wet. So I'm actually going to leave it for another 15 minutes or so. I think the rice is ready. So we're going to get into bagging of the grain. I'm going to just tear this bucket. So we're going to open up our bag. And we're going to try to get all this rice in without spilling it everywhere else. So you want to keep the pleats in the bag the same way they are, and I find it easier to do this down here. It allows the air to drop out and then it will sit there like that. For the second step, you want to line it up at the bottom with your fingers and you want to squish out any extra air that's in there. And wrap it around. And that's it. Alright guys, so I'm going to inoculate these bags with a few different cultures and we'll see how this rice does compared to the grain.
Alright, so this is after 3 days of 75-degree temperature and a dark place. and it's growing way faster than it typically does for me in my rye grain. So already I can tell I like this a lot better. Here's after 1 week. Again, way faster than I typically see with my rye grain. It's at this point I decide that I'm going to do a break and shake and distribute the mycelium that's growing in clumps amongst the rest of the grains more evenly, as it does cause the overall colonization to go much faster.
So it's been 48 hours since I broke up these bags of brown rice grain. I'm pretty surprised at how fast they are collinating. Like, I'm loving the brown rice method instead of the rye grain. I'm getting much, like 5 times faster results with this brown rice than I was with the rye grains. These two, I did not break and shake them. So as you can see, they're still very spotted as to where the growth is coming from. I think I might break these up today. This is the other one. You can see the different spots, so it has not been broken up yet. They were all done at the same time, so it's very clear that breaking it up and distributing your mycelium throughout the rest of your grain does a much better job, to be honest. I highly recommend the brown rice. Alright, so as you know, I used to have 7 bags of the brown rice. I meant to shoot the last bit of footage for this video before putting some of them to substrate, but I forgot, so 4 of them have been put to substrate. If you want to know how to make substrate, check out my super easy substrate video. I make it as simple as possible. I've got these 3 bags left here. As you can see, they've all colonized absolutely beautifully. I am overwhelmed with the performance of the rice grain compared to the rye grain that I'm used to using. If you haven't tried brown rice, I highly recommend you try it. I'm very happy with the results. Make sure you like and subscribe. It really helps me grow the channel. I'm going to wrap this video up here, but if you want to see how this all grows out in the substrate and what the final results are, make sure you check back in a couple weeks. I will drop a video showing the grows from all this brown rice compared to my grows from the rye grain. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.